whole idea of the chamber was to supplement some of the findings that we came up with in the Southern Sector Task Force. There were recommendations that were designed to get people interested in investing in the South Side. In order for it to change its character, we had to find a way to bring capital to that side, and we made recommendations. I think there was 10 or 15 recommendations in the report, and it's kind of interesting. Some of them came true, including Toyota. I thought that was kind of an interesting coup de grace that matched some of the things that we recommended happen on the south side. So, of course, Brooks was a pleasant surprise. You know, I was concerned many years later when they started closing Brooks that was going to have a negative effect on it. I think it had a negative effect on the housing, but it's turned out that the redevelopment of it into a commercial deal hopefully will revitalize that area and help bring the housing back up. But the South Side doesn't look anything like 1980 at all in terms of retail and housing. It has really taken off.
When I was chair of the chamber, we really went into a strategic planning process, and the board came together in a retreat setting, and we worked on setting our goals for the Southside Chamber. And those goals included economic development goals, included education goals, it included social goals for the South Side. I came in as chair of the chamber when Reba was kind of in her last time frame with the chamber. And so then we looked at hiring a new executive director for the chamber. So I was part of the committee that hired Cindy Taylor. Our Southside Chamber, as I said about Cindy and paying Cindy out of my own bank account, we had to look at, all right, now how do we get serious about fundraisers and about bringing corporate members, because back then you didn't have corporate members in the chamber, in the Southside Chamber. And so we started looking at how do we create a strategic plan to bring in those corporate members and bring them aboard. And so we started with that, and then with some fundraisers. And so it has just continued on and on and on. I'm so proud of the Southside Chamber, where it is today, where it's going to be going in the future, because this is the future of San Antonio, is the South Side. It's hard to go anywhere else north and west, really. And so the development is going to be doing east and southeast and southwest and the South Side. So it's just an exciting time to see what's happening, and that we came from such modest, like we say, scrappy kinds of beginnings, but now then look where we are and what we've done. Look who's on the board and who has been on the board and who has helped to move the chamber forward. Look at the corporate members who are with the chamber.
So looking back with the information that we had, we did grow up, and in a very mighty way. We always fought above our weight. Our volunteers always fought above our weight. I remember one time we took on, against all of the other major chambers, the Alamo, it was called at that time the Alamo Community College District, and they were floating a bond, a $450 million bond, to move a nursing program from St. Philip's to the medical center. And we said, oh, not no, but heck no. And our slogan was, vote it down, bring it back, and get it right. And we won against unbelievable odds. But again, it was what the community needed and what the community wanted, and it turned out to be the right thing to do. But a community of volunteers is what the South Chamber begat, and I hope that will continue on. Grassroots development is still working in the southern sector, as it should. And those seeds that we planted with the Avenidas Del Rio business corridor, and hence the Kelly business corridor, we kept watering those seeds, and now the infrastructure is in place for the next big thing, whatever that may be. But I'm sure that it will be viable. I know that it will be sustainable, and I know that it will be supported by those businesses, neighborhoods, churches, and schools that have said this is what they want that next big thing to do. It's very exciting, very exciting. Looking back over 2 decades with my leadership and the team that I worked with, the most sustainable thing, and I think the thing that we would all say we are most proud of, was the 11 years we spent with Senator Frank Madla in bringing Texas A&M San Antonio to the southern sector. What a need that filled. That's not just education, that's economic, that's freedom, that is a godsend for our children and their parents. You can now be born on the Southside, and you don't have to move away to find a good paying job or go to school. You can now be born here and find a good paying job and stay close to your family and friends and go to school. We're just very, very proud of that infrastructure, and there's just really no place to go but up. It's very, very exciting. Back to that sustainable economic development planning. In 1996, we had set out and said, whoa, something needs to happen with the old Hot Wells ruin. This fabulous, beautiful, historical, magical spa back in the days. Teddy Roosevelt and his Rough Riders and Rudy Valentino, and flash forward 14 years later, we are creating the county's first ever cultural historical park on the Mission Reach of the river, the Hot Wells County Park.
I remember when it first started, I thought, my gosh, they've got a very difficult job because things are just not going that well on the South Side. But over the years, it continued to grow and gain strength. Played a key role in helping us with the bibliothèque that we built, the nation's first all-digital public library right there on Pleasanton Road, transforming how education is used in that area. So they played a key role in all these projects that I talked about and continue to grow in strength and influence in the community.
Well, I moved into the area back in 2001 when I first purchased the building. I liked the building because nobody had really done anything significant to it. It was pretty deteriorated, so it needed a full restoration. And I always wanted to live close to where I worked. Of course, everything is on the south side where it's old. So when I first saw this building, I considered, well, I didn't consider, but I looked at it as far as an investment into restoring something old and giving it a new use for it. When I moved in here, there was hardly any redevelopment going on. The only person was Charlie Acuna, who had done 3 buildings just 1 block north of us. To me, that told me that, hey, if somebody's willing to invest in this area, I think I can too. And so I did. And since then, the city moved their one-stop location over here to the corner of South Alamo and Flores. Then about 5 or 6 years ago, Alamo Architects, they moved in, renovated what used to be a junkyard, which is right next door to us. They renovated their building. OCO, another architect firm, renovated their building on the same lot. And now we have 2 very big architecture firms here as our neighbors. Just down the street, we're January 7th. January 1st, they started construction of 229 A grade or A type apartments, which is at the corner of Probent and Ceballos. Across the street from that, they're going to be doing 300 and something apartments at Blue Star, plus retail, plus more restaurants. Blue Star has gone through a renovation as well, You know, they've taken a lot of their space and converted it into more restaurants. You know, if you go up and down Southtown, you know, you see all these trendy restaurants that everybody, you know, wants to go to. And with that comes living. You know, a lot of people like living downtown. I think we're considered downtown now because we're so close to it. We're only half a mile away from the courthouse. So, you know, living, working, playing, eating, you know, within walking distance is great. You know, it gives you a sense of community. And you don't have to fight all the traffic that's on 410 or 1604 and, you know, all the major arteries that go out of town.
So thinking back on my time with the chamber, which spanned 3 years, I think my favorite experience was the Leadership Academy, the City South Leadership Academy. It was so amazing to see the magic that takes place at the retreat throughout the year, the growth of the students, the confidence that gets built, and of course the high school students that we work with to provide scholarships. So City South Leadership Academy has a special place in my heart. It is great to be on the board, as many of you know, and many of you are going to find out. It's great to be part of the staff of the chamber, the present leadership. One of the things I've found out since leaving is that it is great to be part of the former leadership of the chamber. And there's such a wonderful sense of appreciation, of community, a Southside vibe, and I'm just thrilled to have been there, and I'm thrilled to be still involved. I'm also thrilled to be part of the Valor Club initiative, which is all about the future of the Southside.
I'm Stephen Shodrock, will be serving as the 2015 Chairman of the Board of Directors for the South Chamber of Commerce. It's my honor to serve in that role. I've got a lot of great memories of the Chamber, both old and new. I kind of grew up on the east side of San Antonio in the Kirby area, but basically been working and playing all my life on the south side of San Antonio. Married my high school sweetheart. We basically reside on the outer south part of San Antonio in Floresville, Texas. But currently work at Holt Cat. My first memory of the South Chamber of Commerce was Holt was sharing office space with Cindy Taylor and her group in one of the many buildings at Brook City Base. Basically saw the chamber. That was my first experience. And through being on the email and the contact list, I received an email one year basically notifying anyone if they were interested in the South Leadership Academy. Went back a day later and retrieved it from my inbox and said, you know, I'd like to become a better leader. I'd like to become better involved in the south side of San Antonio. So I reached out, applied for it, and had the honor of being accepted into the Leadership Academy 3 years ago. So I graduated in the 2012 class in the South Leadership Academy. Since that time, I've served in the steering committee and had the honor of kind of helping and working with young leaders and working with them in their development. And becoming committed and devoted to the south side of San Antonio. A lot of the great memories I had of the south side of San Antonio as a kid was right around the Goliad and the Military Drive area. Handy Dan, I remember being located there. The big HEB was no longer there. But a lot of memories on the south side Sears. Spent many a times with my parents in there. Saw a lot of opportunities for the chamber to get involved and work with the community and work with its members. Had the honor of working with our executive group and working on a strategic plan for the coming years. So that's what I'm excited about for 2015. Is we've got a foundation, we've got a roadmap, something that we feel will give our members, give our community, be able to give something so we can continue to grow and be a vital piece of the South San Antonio area.
In May 2014, I got the exciting news. I was being brought on board to be the CEO for the South Chamber. I was just coming off my father's bid for mayor of the city of Del Rio, Texas, and as we were working on that campaign, I got the phone call from Kitty Myers, who was the interim at the time. And when we were going through the interview process, what I noticed, and it was very obvious in the room, the energy was contagious amongst my board members. It was obvious to me that they were looking to leadership that could communicate everything that they're excited about, and we're really looking forward to doing that in 2015. After getting hired, we immediately got to the basics and we looked at our business structure. Going forward, we're very healthy and we're financially secure. We're in our new office space, so the infrastructure is there for success, and we're really looking to build our membership in 2015. As we begin implementing the phases of our strategic plan, we knew it was important to get a strong board. So as we actively sought after and recruited our board members for 2015, we were really thinking of the future.